Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
It's a big cord coming across my screen there.
All right.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, America.
It was a nice little tune you had there. Welcome back.
Welcome back, welcome back. The names all changed since we hung around.
Just put your thumbs up, honey.
Hey, everybody.
And TikTokers, Kim and I are both going live from our TikTok pages today.
Welcome to Conversations Overheard, your favorite webcast for the 50 and over, for people who are in chapter 2. If you look TikTok, if you are, I know that's a young platform, so if you guys are close to 50, that's cool too. If you're nowhere near it, hang around, you might learn something from the aunties and uncles.
It's a young platform.
To me, yeah.
And even if you were a young person but an old soul, we got space for you here. This is your show. Come on out and talk to us. Let us know. We learn from you. You learn from us. We laugh together. We grow together.
So thank you guys for tuning in. And good to see you both.
Thank you. Thank you.
Always good seeing you guys.
Yeah. Tonight, what are we talking about?
How many chances are too many?
How many? How many times can you forgive a person?
It would be easy if we could just throw an arbitrary number out there. 2, and we're done. But it's not that simple.
It's not that simple.
Yeah.
So, I don't have siblings, but I would imagine if it was a sibling, you probably give your sibling unlimited chances, right? Or do you?
I don't know if you give anybody unlimited chances. I mean,
Well, I'm not talking about anybody. I mean siblings. No?
I mean any sibling.
Because they're always going to be your sister or brother. Like a significant other may not always be around.
I mean, unless they are, not equipped to know right from wrong.
They're not equipped.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or if they are challenged to the point that they can't discern good and bad, then no, I don't think there's an unlimited amount of chances you would give a sibling. I mean, your sibling is supposed to love and respect you and protect you.
Protect and respect your boundaries.
And if you can't get that from them, and it's something that they're just repeating fractions,
Right.
because they don't want to do it, then no, you may have to feed them with a very long spoon
Right.
and love them from a distance.
Yeah, because I do hear about siblings who are estranged or, just flat out, I'm done with you.
Even, I mean, at this big old age, as y'all like to call it, even parents and children, you know what I mean, have to have some sort of boundaries. And over time, if those aren't met, then, there can be, again, distance put in between those relationships.
Right.
But how many chances are too many? For me, I'm probably going to say it has to do a lot with the infraction.
I totally agree.
You know.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if I keep forgiving you to the point where it is affecting me, I feel like I'm compromising me and my feelings and my heart to forgive you for something that we've had a conversation about time and time again. Then it's kind of like, I'm just gonna not talk to you about it anymore.
And then you're enabling people when you do that. They're never going to change if you keep giving them rope to hang themselves.
I can't, and I won't do that to my detriment. So, and I'm
Me
a very
either.
forgiving person.
Yeah.
To the point where, like, if you do something, I'm going to want to talk about it. Like, what made you do that? What do you need? That type of thing. So, but after a while, it's kind of like, okay, you take care. And like you said, I'm going to love you from afar.
Yeah. What you think, Gary?
It's situational. I think that, as I get older, I lack the ability to forgive. Because, I have a minimum set of things that, I'm a very tolerant person.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing that I've come to know and appreciate is that God is in the forgiving business, not me. So...
Okay.
I do. I try to be. And I even try to be a Christian, to the best of my ability. And I don't want, I want to forgive in my heart, but I have a very, low threshold of what, or high threshold of what you can do. I don't, I'm not going to litigate every single thing. And if you do something that, is above my threshold of pain, you've probably done a lot. So I'm going to probably not be able to forgive you very early on. I don't want to put a number to that because I think that that's arbitrary. But I do feel like, at some point, I'm just going to assume that that's who you are.
Right.
And the thing that I don't want to do ever is ask somebody to be somebody that they're not. Because we all know, or at least in my experience, let me say that, it's a situation where a person will try to appease you, but ultimately people are who they are.
That's right.
And, if I keep asking them to be somebody else, who's the not smart one in that equation?
Right.
And that's my approach to it.
Because
Right.
people will put on a mask, like, and try to appease you. Like, oh, okay, I know I messed up. Let me wear this mask just for a little while. But eventually they will go back to who they are. You can only wear a mask for so long.
And for me, it gets difficult because I have things that, they're minor to other people, but they're major to me.
Right.
Like, one of the things that, in any relationship, whether it's a sibling, a parent, a coworker, or colleague, as we learned that word this evening,
Oh my gosh.
it's a situation where, like a person that chews with their mouth open, it grinds my gears. And the first time that I tell you about it, and you do it again, or especially if you give me the excuse, well, I can't help myself. Why are you listening?
Because I have ears. But the mask that you spoke of, we all know somebody or a situation that somebody says, well, he did that to me, or she did that to me. And they be like, well, girl, that's just him. Or that's just her. See, right there, that mentality right there says they get a pass because this is their personality.
Right.
This is their disposition all the time. But that doesn't make it right. And so the person who has been injured in this, insulted, whatever the infraction was, has to just take it, one on the chin all the time. And that's no bueno. That's no good. That's no good for anybody. And enablers are at fault as well. So it's not necessarily just the person who is doing all the, 1-2. It's everybody around them that just keeps like accepting and condoning and just sweeping everything under the rug and tell you to get over it. But that's not intelligent or mature or helpful.
It's funny when you say that because, like 10 people just ran through my mind that, their entire life that, people are just, they gonna say the wrong thing, they gonna wear the wrong stuff, they gonna sleep with your man, it's just, that there's but it's not something that they picked up, in their 20s or 30s, or this is an isolated incident. It's a pattern of behavior.
Right.
And that's where I have the disconnect because, my thing is that do you have a propensity to get better? Because if I'm asking you to do something that you're incapable of doing, I'm kind of the not smart person in that situation.
For keeping myself in that position.
But sometimes you think that, oh, okay, this person, they messed up. They can change, and maybe because we've talked about the infraction, and they seem to be apologetic and they understand that they did something wrong. I'm just playing devil's advocate. And so then you think, okay, they're going to change, and then you feel like a damn clown when they do the same or something similar or worse later.
Yeah.
You feel like a damn clown.
Because they weren't sorry.
And then who's the not smart person?
Right.
It's like, okay, let me go get my big red nose.
and I thank you all for respecting that boundary because I'm really trying not to call or refer to anyone as stupid. So.
Well, yeah, we know you don't like that word.
Yeah.
Or no, it was really dumb. That was what it was.
Dumb,
It
but
was dumb.
they're interchangeable. They're interchangeable.
Yeah.
But I don't, again, I don't want to be the not smart person in that equation.
Right.
And if I keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, we all know how that story goes.
I'll give you an example. And I had a friend who embellished a lot.
Lied.
Yes.
Okay.
But here's the thing. She used me as the sounding board to how realistic this embellishment, this lie was. And if I accepted it, then it was good to go and she can go.
Did you know that it was a lie, or did you, like, were you helping her like do something with a job? Or
No,
did she
I didn't know it was a lie.
Oh, you didn't.
I
Okay.
was being bamboozled.
Oh, okay.
But
Wow.
this is how you.
So hold it. I want to rephrase that.
Okay.
So you were quality control at
That's
Lies
exactly what-
Incorporated?
Yeah.
And Lies
Yeah.
Incorporated.
Yep, I have somebody.
I
like
was.
that, too.
And this is how I caught on to it. When somebody recaps the story for you again that they've already like told you
Mhm.
and it changes, but you know what they said and they're telling it to you like, hey, they can't remember because people who lie don't remember what they've said.
No,
And
they
so
don't.
I'm listening to it like, she sat here and took an hour of my life away from me. I listened to all this BS and it was a lie. And then after you know somebody is doing it, you wait for it. And then I just made a decision. I was like, I'm not doing it anymore.
Did you say anything to her? Did you call her out on it? Or
There was no need to.
yeah,
I don't want to go back and forth with you.
right.
That's your issue. I don't want to be a part of that issue anymore. You
So
know,
now when she calls you, do you answer the phone?
she doesn't call me.
Okay.
So
Because
yeah,
I have somebody like that, and I
you dodge the phone.
yeah, I don't answer because I already know that when she calls, it's going to be, chances are it'll be, a big juicy burger, a lie burger, and I'm not into that. So
With secret sauce.
yeah, I'm like, girl, over here.
Quality control at Lies Incorporated.
Yes. Goodness grief. Mm-hmm. That's no fun.
So you hear about all these cliches. Oh, a leopard can or can't change his spots. What's the one by Maya Angelou? When somebody shows you who they are,
Believe 'em.
believe them. So you hear about all these things, but when you're a kid, you're taught to forgive. You should forgive. That word is one of the big words that you're taught as a child, like patience. Forgiveness. But as you grow older, like you said, that whole cape of forgiveness, that just starts to wear thin.
Another one, it came up today. I was talking to actually Veronica today, and she mentioned the Maya Angelou line, and it was, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a powerful statement because you have to stand up for yourself. You can't keep giving
Always and
passes
forever.
to everybody
That's right.
to make sure that their piece is okay
Right.
and yours is destroyed.
Right. Right.
No, you got to take care of you. You got to stand up.
And you also have to set the boundary that, like you said, actually, your person doesn't call you anymore.
Right.
So, but mine does. I have to set the boundary. Like, I know that when you call me, it's going to be some BS.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hear it. I have, I've said before that at 58, I can finally say that everybody in my circle is in my corner. But I've had, there are some infiltrators who've come into my life later that I thought were in my corner, but they're not. So they're gone too. And so though this woman, I do like her as a human, as a person, I just know that she just can't help herself.
Yeah.
But that's not my issue because I'm not here to fix some shit I didn't break. So
Or create.
My boundary is I am like what's that saying that I'm gonna take you in doses. So I don't always answer.
That's a little teaspoon for that person. Yeah.
Drop her.
But it's definitely an effective coping mechanism because there has to be, it can't be unhealthy for you. It can't. I
No.
can't be your friend and it's unhealthy, or your whatever
That's right.
and it's unhealthy. I have to protect my own sanity, my feelings, my center, my peace, and if that involves, every time I'm around you, I'm like, oh.
Because we have less years in front of us, and and we have to protect our, like you said, our time left on this earth. And it is my time left on this earth is not for BS. It's just not. It's not to listen to lies. It's not to be with narcissistic people. It is not, and and I'm not throwing that word around lightly, but if it walks like a duck,
It's a duck.
It's a duck.
Yeah.
So our time left on this earth, and that's the difference between our age now and being 20 and 30. That's why we're a whole lot less tolerant of BS.
So I want to take what you just said and what you said earlier and tell you here's the issue. So you just made a wonderful point, and it's all true. Everything you just said, I 100% agree with you. That we have more years.
Behind us.
Yeah, that one. We don't have that many years left, basically. But anyway, but you started this whole conversation off with, like, I'm not that forgiving anymore. And so I had a conversation with someone that basically said, I was just wrong because I held a grudge. And I didn't feel like I was holding a grudge. And this is where I get like a little confused, because it was like a back and forth situation. This
Was it the
conversation.
person who said you were holding a grudge? Was it somebody from the outside looking in?
It was from the outside looking in.
Oh, okay.
100%. And they said, well, you need to forgive, And I was like, I did forgive. I'm not holding a grudge.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I choose
To set a boundary.
or I don't want the same relationship I once had with
Right.
someone,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that I'm holding a grudge.
Or that you're harboring anger. Or
It just
anything.
means
Yeah.
it just means our relationship is different.
Yes.
And maybe that ship has sailed. And maybe the season is over, but that doesn't mean I don't love the person from afar. That doesn't mean I harbor any ill feelings or want the very best for them. It just means that the things that have happened have changed, like I like to say, the DNA of our relationship. And it does not function the same. And I don't
And that's
want
beautiful.
it to function
And
the
that's
same.
beautiful.
I'm
That's
at
good.
peace with it, but that doesn't mean, for me, unless I'm completely wrong,
You're not at all. Because
that I'm holding a grudge and can't forgive.
I believe in changement. I believe in evolving. And just because your relationship is different doesn't make it bad.
Right.
So you can have, just like you have ex-boyfriends and ex-girlfriends, and you don't hate them. They're just, your relationship with them is just different. I have an ex-husband who just got remarried, and and it's our relationship. It's different.
Yeah.
So we still have children. We still parent. But because he is remarried, I'm not going to call him at night and be like, hey, let me ask you this, blah, 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 that type of, because I respect the fact that he has a wife now.
Right.
So it is different. It's not bad, and no one's angry about anything. So evolution, changement, all of that is beautiful. Because if you were to continue to have the same relationship with the person that was always lying to you, what's that doing to you?
Right.
And your inner health, and
What value does it have?
Yeah, like oh
What-
my gosh.
Shouldn't your relationships add value to your life? Add some sort
In
of
some form.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not something that you have to question all the time. I don't want to do that. I don't want to sit back and try and discern is this truth or is this fantasy?
Right.
My time is precious.
Not only that, but I mean, going back to the little boy who cried wolf, there's going to come a time, if you're really my friend, I'm going to absolutely need to believe you.
Right.
And I'm not going to be able to question it in that instance. And I'm the friend that, I'll help you hide the body. So I don't need to know, did you tell me all of the story, or, I can't have those type of situations. I might also ask you to help me hide the body.
Right.
So we're not going to have that type of relationship of, I don't really know, or I'm unsure, because I just don't have time for that. It's easier for me to just kind of allow you to be who you are. In the case of the person telling you that you should forgive, I mean, forgiving is a very individual decision.
It is.
And what you look like forgiving is probably totally different. You might forgive and say, hey, I can't be around this person. Mm-hmm. And, I might say, well, hey, you know what? I want to be empowered, so I'm going to be around them to prove to myself that I forgave them. Mm-hmm. And people want to project their feelings of how you should do something.
But she said she did forgive this person, and forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean I want you back in my life to the degree that you were there before. Like, I can forgive you for doing something or saying something to me, but that doesn't mean I want you back in my life.
I still ain't forgot.
Because, well, forgiveness is for me. Honestly, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Like I'm forgiving you
Exactly.
so that my heart is at peace.
I disagree. I think forgiveness is for the other person.
I mean, I can't control how they feel
No. I mean,
about being forgiven. I can only
it's so that
control how I feel.
it's so that I can interact with that person in a way that I choose to. Because if I don't forgive, then I'm kind of still in that space. And
So then it's for you then.
Yeah, but it's still for you.
It's for you because you might not even see that person again.
Right.
okay.
So it's for you to be able to move on. It's for your central nervous system. It's for your heart.
Yeah, because I mean, if I haven't forgiven you and I end up sharing the same space with you, it could go bad. You know, that's kind of how I live my life. So the forgiveness part is so that you can, you know, go ahead and do all those things that you want to do, absent of me doing something to you to stop you from doing those things.
So, I mean, to like keep this back on like topic before we go too far
Sorry.
away.
It's always my fault.
How many times is too many? So, in my instance, if I mean the infraction with the friend was a pretty bad infraction, obviously, but it was kind of like outside of me doing what you said. You talk to the person, you try and get to the bottom of it, you try and repair it. I wanted to repair it, and
she said no.
she didn't say no, but her actions were like no. You know what I mean? She didn't say it with her mouth,
words.
but
So
as in everybody's mind, it's like, well, Janae, what else could have done? Well, wait, first of all, I'm the injured party. Now you want me to go and
Right.
pick up a toolkit, some glue and some cement and try and fix everything and make this person feel differently about what they did?
to you.
Right. You know, I was like, everybody's asking a whole bunch for me, but guess what? I'm going to do. I'm just going to forgive her and I'm going to move on.
Right.
To me, that worked for me. And I don't feel like there's any issue that I have. I just feel like, you know, in that instance, I think I'm a one and done. But again, it's always a variable.
I think it's situational.
Yeah.
And you and I actually have a friend, a mutual friend, and I'm trying not to name this person's name.
You won't.
And at least once a year, I end up forgiving this person for something that I would never
They do something
forgive.
once a year.
At least once a year, they do something that I'm like, wow.
So they don't. It's not that they've said something to offend you. They've done something.
Oh no, they have been particularly egregious
So
to
if there's
myself and others. To themselves, I mean, it's they.
So why
I
is
think
that
that you
person
know
in
who
your
I'm
life?
talking about.
I do.
Why is that person
I
in your
do.
life?
I don't have
keep forgiving?
I don't have a legitimate answer to that question.
Time. Years.
And they are
Because you have history with them.
they are
I
genuinely
think.
they are genuinely, I don't want to use the word, prone to screw up. Like God gave it to them, and it's
Like a gift.
a curse. You know, I don't know, but it's at least once a year. So it's situational for me. You know, if most of my other friends did even one of the things that he's done, well, I said gender, but
Right.
that they have done over the years, I probably would have cut them loose.
But for some reason you haven't.
Yeah.
But so you've never thought about that because now you're
I,
verbalizing.
I planned it out and wrote a PowerPoint presentation.
So
I mean, it's,
why is this person still in your life? Because
I
if I
don't-
have to forgive somebody once a year at least
over
over things that are pretty egregious, they wouldn't be in my life.
I don't have a legitimate answer for you. But I do want Janae to verify that at least once a year is very accurate.
And now that you said he, I know it's not a former
It's
lover
true.
because I'm thinking it was like a person that you've been
Like
with.
a heart tie?
Yes, I was going to say you might
Yeah.
have a soul tie with them, but you
No.
don't.
No.
Huh. Are they related to you?
It feels like it sometimes, but no.
No. Yeah, so I don't. I
Maybe you
wouldn't
feel
have
sorry
that.
for them to a certain degree. Maybe you feel some level of empathy, like, you know.
I mean,
They're
it's,
just like
it's
a
not.
pitiful soul?
It's
Right.
not. It's
Oh,
not.
okay.
It's not. You know,
Still.
all bad. You know, there are times and things where that person does genuinely add value, and it's
Add value or just not offend.
we may have set the bar low for this person, so it may be not offending. But I mean,
Okay, so they're not Lucifer. So they're not all bad. But the point to keep forgiving someone, why?
I don't have an answer to that. I mean, this is my friend. This person remains as my friend,
Okay.
and this time next year he will have done something else.
Is that the only person in your life that you have offered 10,000 chances to? Or
Yeah.
is, so maybe it's that person.
I mean, my
At some
cutoff.
point, they have
Yeah, but
You have
my cutoff
special
game is
spot
nice.
for
You know,
them.
I can. It's
But
special.
not for this.
Not
person.
for this person, but
This person's
in
an
everyone
exception.
else,
Okay.
you don't even have to do an infraction. You can show me a propensity to do something, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just kind of let that ride out. I'm good.
like my tolerance level for lies is almost non-existent.
Negative zero.
Right. I really feel like there's really no need to have to lie. You know what I mean? Like,
Especially to a good friend.
I'm not saying that I haven't told a lie before.
No. But
And
especially
I've told a lie by omission before. But I told that lie out of omission because I felt like what I didn't tell the truth about, I had already worked that out with God. So I felt like, why am I divulging of something that has no bearing? Like, probably shouldn't have been even asked the question. You know what I mean? But then I also felt like it wasn't a safe place or a safe space for me to just, peel back all the layers and the banana and like, here's the flesh. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I have done that before, but I do feel like there's really no need to lie. I feel like communication can like smooth all that over.
And I mean, I ask a lot of my friends. I ask my friend as it relates to lying. I ask a lot of my friends, and it takes a lot to meet me where I'm at. But
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm a lot to deal with. I'm a handful.
Okay.
I'm not. It's not easy, and I'm going to be who I am consistently.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm asking my friends to do that, then I'm going to meet them where they are. So to your point, there is no reason to lie to me, because I mean, 9 times out of 10, I know what you did or didn't do simply by the virtue of the context of our friendship. Mm-hmm. So it's no need to lie to me. It's not necessary.
There isn't a need to lie, but if I had to play devil's advocate and be on the other end of this, and I was someone in let's say a relationship with you, because you are so, I'm gonna be how I'm gonna be. I'm gonna be myself consistently. I'm gonna do this. I don't have really a lot of been there because I'm this big old age. That person may feel like if I share where I am, he may just say, well, you know what? Good luck with that. I'm gone. You know what I mean? And then they feel like it wasn't a safe place. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just giving some context
I can see that.
around why they
Because
may
you kind of are like.
omit. Yeah, you kind of are.
I mean, I don't run from that. I am. But within that, I would also feel that even as strong or domineering as my personality can be, I would always hope that a person in a relationship or even a really good friend would be comfortable in saying or doing whatever it was that they say or do.
Yeah. They just may be in fear of being abandoned.
I mean, y'all make it seem like, I don't even slow the car down. I get about 50. Get you! No, it's
Just don't
not.
cry on your shoulder.
I'm not saying you can't cry. I'm saying we
On your
can't.
shirt.
You can cry on my shirt.
With that, don't have any emotions now. Get
No,
your
no,
get your
no,
emotions
no.
So where
together.
this is coming from is that on another episode a year or so ago,
Many years ago.
Gary referenced, we were talking about forgiveness or something or showing emotion, and Gary, he said if the woman was upset, and he was like, I'm not going to have this conversation if she's crying, and if she starts crying on my shirt, don't start crying
He
on my
said he
shirt.
would leave.
He would leave.
He would leave until you pulled yourself together and can speak without emotion, without all this.
with all that sniveling.
Those are not my words, okay? But
It's like-
what I'm saying and what I'm meaning, and I'll say it yet again, is that I don't want to have a substantive conversation with a person that is emotional.
Okay.
And I'm not.
We could go back and forth.
Can you
Yeah, yeah. We can go back and forth about it. Now we got to figure out. Okay, there we go. We could go back and forth. Sorry about that, guys. Why that doesn't make sense to me?
I don't. You know. I
But-
don't. I would never give up on you all, but I don't ever think that it's gonna make sense to you.
That one doesn't.
But
So
But bringing it back in, I think that my tolerance is less. There's definitely a finite amount of times that I'm willing to give someone. I don't know what that number is, and as we've discussed, for me, it's situational.
yeah.
And at this time in my life, my tolerance is just so much lower.
Mine too. I think mine
Yeah.
is lower. I think yours is
Definitely.
lower
Yeah.
too. So I think that part comes with age. I'm probably a lot more softer with my delivery on the exit. But I'm not afraid to exit.
I don't know that I'm softer with my delivery on exit.
No, I was talking about him, softer than him.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I thought you meant softer than you were when you were younger.
No, just softer than his.
Yeah. Okay, so I am too. And just for point of reference.
Well,
Right.
according to you all, I am
Lucifer's
like the
angels.
bare minimum. So everyone in theory should be at a higher space than me.
Yeah.
I got a garden apartment in this building. Y'all should
Yeah, that's what I said. Lucifer's angels are softer.
I'm,
My gosh.
but at this point in life, nobody should feel like somebody's punching back. You know what I mean?
No.
You should not feel like, what am I gonna
Yeah.
have to endure today?
Yeah,
That's,
because forgiveness doesn't, like I was talking about your situation, forgiveness for me, if I can forgive you and you're not even knowing, because I'm not dealing with you anymore. Like there are people that I have in my life that we've reconciled, we've talked about things, and we are for friendships and things like that. We don't talk every day and think, but I still love these women, and we reconcile. But I also have people in my life that I have forgiven for things, and I don't. But we're never going to be where we were, and that's just how it is.
That's fair.
I can forgive you. I can even miss you, but I don't want you back in my life.
I got a quick question for both of you.
Sure.
If you forgive somebody for something, is it fair game to bring it back up? Because a lot of times people will say,
That's a good question.
we talked about this. I said I was sorry. You forgave me, but we're talking about it
And
again.
I often hear
Yes.
men complaining about that. But and so in our minds, our meaning like women's minds, we will bring something up just for point of reference. Like this is very similar. Like what you're doing to me now is very similar to what you did in 1987 at 10 p.m. So then you want to bring this up like, I'm not trying to throw this in your face, but this is similar. So we really haven't gotten past
It's
this.
either similar or it's the same.
Or it's the same. So
Right.
we really haven't gotten past this issue because you're doing it now 30-something years later.
Because you resurrected it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. But how do you feel about that?
I think it's fair to bring it up. What we can't do is we can't relitigate it. If you have forgiven me, then you've forgiven me. but you can't use it as a a jump off to okay, so I'm losing in this part of the argument, I'm going to introduce another argument because I lack the capacity to have more than one argument at one time.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah.
So if you want to tell me as a reference, and okay, I heard you, I'm sorry again in case you didn't hear me the first time, and let's talk about what we're talking about. But if you're
Right.
using it as a stepping stone to gain an advantage in the argument, other than illustrating a point, no, we're not doing that.
Right. So to make a point, yes, but not to like try me for the same crime twice.
Right? Or you talking about I left the toilet seat up. You know that I do this.
Right. That's
I'm
what.
sorry. Did you say something?
Yeah. I'm like,
That doesn't make it right.
Yeah.
Okay.
when you fall into a toilet stool and have cold water on your behind, you'll know why.
I've never done that before.
I have done that before.
First of all, you all are black women. There is no chance of falling in the toilet.
I have fallen in the toilet. What are you talking about?
I'm gonna accuse
I've
you
got
of
a-
exaggerating
I have an
here.
elongated big toilet.
I have never.
You got a throne, and you can, come on now.
I have fallen in. You've never fallen in?
Never in my life.
Thank
Oh
you.
my
Thank
gosh.
you for that bit
Because
of
I
honesty.
look at it, I'm like,
Well,
no, I've never.
sometimes you aren't expecting for the toilet seat to be up.
I get that part. I wholeheartedly agree with you. But but I mean, my point is that we can't relitigate stuff. I'm sorry, I do it. There has to be some allowance. I'm trying to do better. I didn't do it intentionally. Forgive me, and let's move on.
And what I also know is that you don't necessarily sit very gingerly on the toilet. You just know it's going to be there. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a kaplop. And then if you're in the water, you're stunned.
Yeah, that
It's
would,
usually
that
not. Right.
would, that would freak me out if I fell through like that and have
Right.
dirty water and just,
Toilet water.
yeah,
Right. It's a toilet, so it's not.
that would freak me
Yeah.
out. I'm way too much of a germaphobe, as people always call me, for that.
But to answer your question, I don't want to relitigate it. You can bring it up as I don't want to use the word fodder, but you can bring it up to illustrate a point. Or
Would that be one of the things that you would say, okay, you keep doing this, this is like your chances are ticking away.
I don't like to give ultimatums like that.
I mean, you
But-
don't have to
but-
say it out loud, but in your mind, you're like, I'm not going to keep doing this.
Well,
with this
I'm
person.
going to say it in that moment, like, hey, we already have gone through this, and you're bringing it up again, and you're not using it fairly, and I'm going to make that point to you, and depending on what your response is how I'm going to respond to what your response. But I'm not going to just that starts the downward spiral. No, that it I'm going to say what I have to say. I'm going to give you an opportunity to feel how you feel about it, and then I'm going to catalog that. So if I do have to make a decision, then I have a business case.
All right.
Okay.
Well, of course, we want to know how you guys feel about this and where, you stand with this. How many chances? Is it, situational? Is it variables involved? For me, there are. I guess for all of us, there are. But let us know.
Yes, drop your comments, your thoughts in the comments, and let us know how you feel about this topic tonight. And I'm so excited, February 8th, which is right around the corner, we are having we promised you this a week ago or so.
2 weeks.
Was it 2 weeks ago?
Mm-hmm.
That we were coming to you with this discussion, and it's going to be on colorism. And we are having our in-person event Saturday, February 8th in Chicago at the Green Dragon Taco, 2255 West Taylor Street,
Yes.
Taylor.
4 p.m. to 8 p.m. We are having a wonderful panel discussion. We are having 6 guests so far on the panel who are different shades of brown, talking about colorism professionally and personally, how it's affected them, and giving their perspectives. So if you are in Chicago, in the Chicagoland area, or you'll be in Chicago February 8th, please join us. The Eventbrite ticket link is on our Conversations Overheard Facebook pages.
And YouTube and IG. So
Most definitely.
please come out, enjoy not only the great conversations, all the experiences that we'll all learn. What are you doing?
He's saying.
Oh, it looked like red rum. Yeah, definitely just come out, guys. All right, I'm trying to see if we have any comments there that we can address. I can't read that far.
Oh, I know. Oh, no, it's up close. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what you can.
Yeah.
Okay, so at any rate, thank you for tuning in. You guys have anything else to say?
No, but we're looking forward to seeing you guys on February 8th. And thanks
Most
for tuning
definitely.
in tonight. Like,
Most
subscribe, and share.
Go out and get
Thank
those
you.
tickets for February 8th. They're available right now.
Absolutely.
Thank you for tuning in.
Love you guys.
Good night.
Bye, TikTokers.